It's very important for shoulder health that the shoulder stays centered and the shoulder blades rotate upward during arm elevation. So there's a few movement pattern faults that predictably cause impingement in the shoulder. First one is this forward humeral head position. Whenever the humeral head is forward, it very predictably causes impingement just because of the shape of the ceiling of the joint. Also, for upward scapular movement, we need upper trapezius activity and serratus anterior activity. So depressing the shoulder blade or retracting the shoulder blades will inhibit those key muscles that we need working. Those movements very predictably cause winging of the shoulder blade and impingement. To get your shoulder movement just right, you have to learn to take this forward humeral head position and draw it back to center it in the socket. You also need to learn to lift the shoulder blade. So the shoulder blade shouldn't lift too much, but as the hand rises, the shoulder blade should lift a moderate amount. By the time your hand comes up to about 90 degrees of shoulder flexion, the shoulder blade should have lifted about 2 centimeters. And as you carry on up through full arm elevation, the shoulder blade should raise about 4 centimeters. The whole time, the ball should stay centered in the socket. Once you learn how to center the ball in the socket, every exercise becomes a good rotator cuff exercise if you're centered, and every exercise is missing the mark a little bit if you're not. Resisted external rotation is an exercise that's very commonly given for rotator cuff problems and shoulder pain. But you don't have to be that good at resisted external rotation. It's not a very functional movement. It does offer some benefits though. It's a very safe movement. It's not going to hurt your shoulder. You can increase the strength of your rotator cuff muscles, and you can practice the centering position. So draw the ball back to center, keep your elbow slightly ahead of your shoulder, and then as you go out and back in, you should be able to just keep that centered position. Don't let the shoulder hop forward again. Draw the ball to center and keep it there as you go in and out. Progressions from external rotation with the arm right at your side include taking the arm away from the side a little bit. So you can start off by taking the arm away from the side to about 45 degrees. When you do that, the shoulder should stay centered, the elbow should stay slightly ahead of the shoulder blade should go up a little bit, as it always does when the arm comes away from the body. And you can also turn your body a little bit toward the band. So in this position, you still have a 90-degree bend in the elbow, but the arm is 45 degrees away from the side, and we're still centered. That's what we're practicing. Can you stay centered and do that external rotation? You can progress this from 45 degrees up to 90 degrees, turn fully to face the band, keep that 90-degree bend in the elbow, the shoulder blade goes up a little bit more, stay centered, and then rotate there. Keep the elbow slightly ahead of the shoulder. A really easy exercise for people who struggle with these external rotation exercises is resisted horizontal abduction. So we're just coming out to the side like this. Again, when you bring the hand up to 90 degrees of shoulder flexion, the shoulder blade should come up a couple centimeters. You want to stay centered the whole time, so you don't want the shoulder to be in that forward position. Drop back to center, bring the arm up to 90 degrees, and then you're going to go out to the side. The hard part is that when you're out here to the side, tightness in your pectoral muscles will try to pull the ball forward in the socket. You need to keep the ball back in the socket and keep the shoulder blade up 2 centimeters the whole time. So resisted horizontal abduction looks like that. As I said before, all exercises are good for the shoulder and the rotator cuff if you're practicing centering and proper shoulder blade movement. But no exercise perfectly mimics any other exercise. No exercise is functionally exactly the same as any other functional movement you need to do. So it's good to just practice the regular things that you need to do in your life. If you reach for things, reaching for the phone, reaching for a cup in the cupboard, practice reaching and just trying to keep that centered position and the appropriate amount of rise in the shoulder blade. So as I reach for this here, I'm trying to stay centered. I've got my shoulder blade coming up a couple centimeters, pull that off, bring it back down. This is about as functional an exercise as I can get.